Hello everyone, welcome to the Wundertalks. Imagine the fancy jingle coming up here. We're not doing anything very formal today. We're going to do a round of randomly selected people, and we're going to have these people introduce themselves. And then we're going to follow with a prepared presentation from David, who's going to be talking about modern jQuery. So yeah, let's start it with the introductions. Well, maybe we'll start with you, Juho. So let us know who you are, what you do, and what you do. Well, what you do for work and what you do in your free time.
Yeah. Okay. So as you much know, I didn't have any time to think of anything wise to say. So this might be something not so clever. Anyway, first of all, I try to keep the Finnish traditions on speaking really rally English, so this is it. First of all, I have been doing Drupal for something I don't know, many years. I was the first employee of me and Sampo. We were the first employees of Meara back in the days, and we were actually before Meara, we were employees of Juha. So we came along with Juha to the Meara company. That was one of the founding companies or whatever. Yeah. So what I do in Drupal is because I've been doing this since there was only me, Sampo, and Juha. So naturally we did everything, from site building to theming and so on. But after that, my thing is being more and more on front side, and the title is sometimes I don't like titles, but the title is some sort of UX designer. But anyway, I try to think of myself as somehow doing everything. And when I'm not working, I have I have 2 kids and a girlfriend. We are not married, so I still have a girlfriend. Anyway, and we live in and I work in Turku office, as you may know by now. But I live I live in Eura, which is 100 kilometers away from Turku. So I do a lot of remote working. Mainly it's I come here to the Turku office once or twice a week, mainly twice a week, but yeah. And in Eura, most of my life has been involving building a house for our family. So, that has been most of my free time has gone to that project for past 3 or 2 years.
Yeah, very cool.
So I don't know what I left out.
Yeah, I think that already gives us a good overview. I think it's always nice to we get to know people a little better over a beer when we get to meet face to face. But I wasn't aware that you were one of the very first employees. So that's we've been around for a long time.
Yeah, we have to fight with Sampo. So which is the number 1 and which is number 2? So there's Sampo.
The classic.
Okay. Hi, Sampo.
Here's Otso.
Yeah.
Hello.
So since we have Otso there, I think he really wants to speak and just introduce himself. We hear you quite a lot. Well, we read you quite a lot on the Skype chat. So it's always great to put a face with people's names and people's posts. So do you want to introduce yourself too?
Maybe like a short introduction.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, my name is Otso. I'm the guy who writes a lot and bad puns, bad jokes. I live in Turku and I work here obviously, and what else? my free time. Well, I've been doing Drupal for I think 2 years now. I'm more of a front-end type of guy, but I'm not afraid to touch the whole stack. And in my free time, I don't know, play games,
Sorry, go ahead.
ride my bicycle. I don't know, take photos.
I remember you telling me something about some Ruby on Rails project.
Yeah.
So you do some of that too.
Yeah. In my free time, I also like to tinker with. I have been tinkering with Rails, but also iOS and Mac development. So I don't know. I do a lot of different stuff. I don't have any single one big free time activity that I dedicate my life to. I go and do different things.
Okay.
Any questions or?
I don't know. I think if there are any questions, I think we'll let people ask them on the Skype chat, and I know you're there to answer them.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Then I think that we're going to switch to Helsinki, and yeah, bye Otto, bye Juho, and now we're going to switch to David. So I think, well, David, we've had you on at least once, maybe twice. So you're a regular presenter also at Drupal events. So yeah, hi.
Hi.
Do you want to introduce yourself quickly before the presentation?
Yeah, I will. I don't know if you know me, but my name is David Corbacho. I'm from Spain, but I moved to Finland about 6-7 years ago. Why? Normally, you know the answer is because of a girlfriend. Yeah? So I'm here living in Helsinki center with Päivi. I was looking for jobs 6-7 years ago, and it was quite tough times because it was this moment where all the banks were falling down and all the society was shocked, like what is happening, the system is collapsing. And in those times it was hard to find job. Someone asked me to do can you make a blog and a forum combined? And I thought, well, blog, I know WordPress, but a forum, how should I put it together? And then I started to Google and I found our Drupal, and there it started. And once I got experience on Drupal, it was a new startup starting in Helsinki called Drupro. Difficult name to pronounce, Drupro. So we were 4 of us, and I've been there growing professionally, because before that I just graduated from Spain, computer science degree. So at some point, Drupro changed to Aberdeen Cloud, that is now focused on Drupal hosting and not anymore about Drupal development. So I decided to switch and continue Drupal development in Wundertalks. I joined 1.5 years ago, and I've been very happy here. And well, I'm focused on Drupal from the beginning, but I decided to specialize more in front end, especially JavaScript. And I have small contributions to Drupal, a couple of modules, and I try to share knowledge about front end in Drupal conferences like Drupal Camps and DrupalCon. And in my free time, I enjoy public speaking, and I joined Toastmasters. It's a club, an international club that has little clubs in almost every city around the world, and it's really nice atmosphere and community in this kind of local events, and it gives you the chance to improve your public speaking skills without any stress, and very nice. So that gives me the chance also to speak in other kind of events. And today I am going to speak in Helsinki JS. It's a small thingy here in Helsinki once per month. And I will talk about jQuery development, modern jQuery. So I would like to practice this little speech with you guys and share a bit about jQuery.
Oh, so that's where I heard your title. I saw your Twitter post, your tweet about your presentation. Now I know where I heard this from.
Okay. I haven't had. Always this happens the same. I didn't have almost time to prepare the slides in the last minute, so they are not totally cohesive. But I will try to do my best to go through them. Okay, I will share my desktop. It was a screen share and then share the whole desktop, no?
Yeah. Okay, it works.
All right. Well, this presentation is about it's a bit about how about all the hype that we're giving to the new libraries like AngularJS, Backbone, and there is a lot of innovation nowadays in the front-end JavaScript libraries, and somehow we have forgot about jQuery. Like we give it for granted, like, well, jQuery is you know, this thing from the past. It only helps for Internet Explorer 6, and this is old thing. We don't need it anymore. It's bloated. It's blah blah blah. So there has been a lot of critics and this about jQuery, but I would like to present some charts and real data about jQuery. This is a Google Trends about how people search. You can compare searching trends of keywords. Backbone has been popular, yes, but AngularJS lately is like has become like a boom. It's like it's everywhere. Everybody's talking about it. I don't know, where do you think jQuery is in this picture? Is like, well, here is jQuery. Now what AngularJS doesn't look like, well, and this is the surprising thing is it's a bit like the server-side languages like PHP. PHP is everywhere. Everybody is everywhere in the hosting. People don't like to talk or promote PHP anymore. They are talking more about how cool is Ruby, how cool is Node.js. But in the real world, is jQuery and PHP, they are really everywhere. This is some statistics about the how popular are JavaScript libraries. jQuery is used by 94% of the websites that these people track. You might think, well, but that number is going down because jQuery is old and shit. Well, this is the trend from the last year. 54% keeps growing to 59%. So jQuery is not going anywhere. This is another chart from another website, Build With, and jQuery really, well, you cannot even see AngularJS in the chart. So it's like another proof that we are forgetting about using tools that we shouldn't forget about. jQuery has been quite easy, and the evolution of jQuery releases is quite normal. It's has been always backward compatibilities except some small things. But something happened in 2012. They decided to split jQuery in two branches. One that should keep giving support to all Internet Explorer, and another one like modern jQuery. It will be the 2P dot branch. Anyway, even you choose one or another branch, both have suffered this kind of cleanup. A lot of deprecated API has been removed, changed, and it's like a big step to jump from 1.8 to a newer one. As you know, Drupal 7 ships with jQuery 1.4, so Drupal ships with jQuery version of 2010 or something. Is quite sad, but well, thanks God that we have jQuery update module. There is, I think, soon, even in the 1. branch, it will be dropped the support for i6 and I think i7 too. That will happen during this year. But the future, the modern jQuery will continue in the 2. branch. So how long we are going to need support for i8? This is a chart about the usage of different browsers, and i8 is disappearing quite slowly. It still is 5% of browser market share. This is kind of optimistic because there is another statistics, other net market share. It says that Internet Explorer 8 has 21% of the market share. They use different methodologies to track this kind of thing, so you cannot be sure like what to trust. But let's say that at least 10% of the users outside there can use still Internet Explorer 8. So it's not so easy to drop i8. Drupal 8 is going to drop the support for Internet Explorer 8, but we're hoping that by the time that we release Drupal 8 next year, maybe second quarter of next year, Drupal 8 will be released, and by that time Internet Explorer 8 is quite low. Another critic that normally people say is the jQuery is too big and bloated and you should only use vanilla JavaScript and mobile, especially for mobile phones, that jQuery is huge. This is a jQuery size chart where you can see it has been growing the size, but the important number here in the bottom where you see the minified version, and it's really important that you set up the servers to deliver the library gzipped and minified version. It's a lot of difference. And then when you compare 29 kilobyte with the size of the site, that nowadays the average is 1 megabyte. I don't think it's such a big deal to deliver jQuery. HTTP archive, I don't know if you know, but they track the top 1 million sites. And they have a lot of interesting statistics. I think the JavaScript size that is the average is about 200 something, almost 300 kilobytes of JavaScript. So 29 kilobytes in that, I don't think is a big deal. And also you can custom-built jQuery using Grunt, you can say, okay, I'm not going to use Ajax or this method, so you can still shave off some kilobytes there. This is kind of new and still is being developed, but more and more jQuery is exposing their internals into small little modules, so you can choose or replace different parts of jQuery. It's getting more modernized because the trend now is to use really small modules and use npm for packages and build dependencies or these kind of things. So I think jQuery is trying, without breaking compatibility, trying to offer this kind of options. So you should look at it too. Yeah, I'm not going to read the slide, but you can read it. There is a lot of things that you can do to worry about performance instead of blaming, it's jQuery. And one of the sites that deliver more like, hey, you don't need jQuery, it was this website that it appears a couple of months ago. And still it seems that there is some kind of myth that jQuery is for all Internet Explorer, but jQuery nowadays doesn't have so much fixes for Internet Explorer. Most of them, they are, if you see, well, this is a huge list, but you see that most of the fixes are for WebKit, old Android mobile phone, mobile browser, etc. It's not anymore about Internet Explorer. So who has time to debug, I don't know, iPad Safari browser or Android old browsers? Yes, you might think, well, I don't need jQuery. I do it raw JavaScript, and it works in my machine. But I think that it compensates the benefits of using jQuery and the easy of use, because raw JavaScript is kind of verbose and not so easy to maintain the code and track all the bugs of the browsers. So that's a bit the message I want to spread in the Helsinki JS, because they in this conference they tend to talk about really edge topics, always about the last technology, about broccoli that is now better than Grunt, or really things that they are cool, but we sometimes forget about tools and things that are very very useful, and still they are very valid to use. Well, that's my message. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, David. One of the questions I had, and I was going to ask it, and I thought, hey, I just need to Google that. Zopfli, or I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but okay. So apparently, it's a compression algorithm. It's I never heard about that one. If I wasn't in front of the computer when I heard this presentation, this is maybe something that I would have asked at the end of the presentation. So,
I didn't know about that either. When I saw it, I was like, well, I suppose it's a new one, but I suppose not that popular because the difference with gzip, it was not much.
Yeah. I think you have a very good point that a lot of JavaScript user groups also tend to focus only on the cutting edge stuff, I think it's generally a recommendation that I would give to anyone. Go to your local JavaScript user group. It's probably a lot bigger than your local Drupal user group. So, and it's also a great place for inspiration.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Well, thank you, David. And next week we're going to have another presentation. We're going to have Frederik Lassen from our Berlin office, and he's going to give us an update on the state of layout solutions in Drupal 8. He was participating in the code sprint that took place, I think, 2 weeks ago in Zurich. There's been a lot of work done there and a lot of follow-up work then as well. And layout is really one of the big problems that we need to address before we can start building real Drupal 8 sites. And it's looking pretty good. So I'm really looking forward to his presentation, and we're going to do more random introductions, picking people left and right. So yeah, think about what you might say, and if you have any suggestions for improvements, well, we're definitely open. And these Wundertalks are kind of improvised processes, very agile and improving all the time. So we're open to any feedback. Again, thanks a lot to David, and also to Juho and Otto. Great to meet new people, meet new colleagues, and we'll see you next week. Yeah. Bye.